Having a nice breakfast, preparing for what looks like will be a gigantic day for the women here at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, presented by Shiseido. As you can tell, we're right into the swing of things, getting things started with J.Defay, G.Bryan, and M.Picklum. J.Defay, the veteran on tour, controlling the start of this heat. Always comfortable in waves that have a lot of power. That could be 4 times you are surfing in this challenging lineup. Let's get caught up here, Rosie.
Yeah, so fun to see this first look of J.Defay. Like you said, just so trusted in powerful surf. Here she's got such great timing and tempo on this wave, Joe. Beautiful way to open up the morning. You can tell, as we know in Hawaii, it really takes the sun to kind of shine on it before you start to see the lineup get a bit more organized. But she just glides through all this bump and reverb that you see on the open face of this wave. She's kind of going through the motions on this wave, but it's still just so well read and ridden by Johanne, especially when it's the first.
But she has that big forehand carve that she's used at Honolulu Bay over the years to great effect. More action out the back. G.Bryan from the island of Kauai. So happy to be making her rookie debut this year. Performed well at Pipeline and some of the events in the preseason. Got to suit up there for the first full CT in history, and now here at Sunset Beach once again. Exciting to get this early start. Also, Gabriela Bryan with a 4-point ride.
Yeah, Gabriela for that first turn. I mean, just going to that rail, almost gets a little bit stuck on that heel edge, but manages to turn it around. You can tell M.Picklum, she wanted to have a go at that wave too. Gets through that chatter on that first little section. There, just almost goes over, manages to regather herself.
Our priority hasn't been established yet, so it's old school. Just paddle deep. You can hassle if you'd like, as we see a short ride there from M.Picklum. Just stepping off quickly.
I'm very keen to see what Moan is able to do at Sunset, because it is a different challenging wave.
Solid section there. G.Bryan absolutely charging, but no room for turns as she was trying to catch up to some open face. Such a hard-working athlete. You speak to people she surfs with on her home island of Kauai, and they said she just never gives up, puts in so much hard work, and it was cool to see her island celebrate that qualification.
Yeah, so good to see her get the support that she so rightly deserves.
Looks like we've got a roll-in potentially. Skipping down the face for a moment, M.Picklum. Little chatter off the bottom. Clean, sweeping, cutback. Setting up the next maneuver on the open face, and she'll get a little bit stuck on the second move. And we'll see when we could potentially be crowning champions. It could happen very quick over the next couple of days. Drawing off the bottom, first wrapping turn, former Rookie of the Year in 2014, J.Defay. Off the bottom, there's that whip to finish. Solid on her feet. Those sections, it's pretty easy to fall off your board with so much energy moving different directions. She did well to ride away.
Definitely, and couple that with her 617, I think that for me seems like the best wave of the heat, especially with that finish.
The exchange continues. M.Picklum. Australian patiently off the bottom. Quick redirect there. And framing a beautiful finishing move, using a lot of that rail to complete 2 clean moves. Her best wave so far.
Yeah, that's definitely going to settle Molly into this heat. Really impressed with Gabriela Bryan's attempt, though. That first maneuver was so well placed on that wave, and finding that re-entry into the wave can be so difficult because you get so pushed so far out. And Molly, just smooth lines on this wave. Really using the length of the rail. That turn right there, better from Molly. So she's building in this heat.
Real cool to see her approach and control of this bigger board. Real smooth and a lot different than Gabby's approach on the last one.
Yeah, different sections and different choice of lines for Molly. Just beautiful swoop there. Yeah, so not much of attacking that lip line section.
She loves Sunset Beach. Her and her father Dave had so many reps out here last year in anticipation to start that event when it got moved. You know, all that practice is still going the right direction. She'll be out there next. Nice, clean, controlled carve from M.Picklum. Big section's going to land right on her feet. She wanted an extra turn so she could really make sure she was in the lead. A 5.24 takes the lead off Defay. And Molly still enjoying the highest score of the heat so far. On the clock, what happened here, Ro?
Yeah, watching Molly just get out onto that open face. Already got the best wave of the heat so far. You can tell that this wave is just super foamy. That section cascades around her.
She just was able to turn it all off and just play in the sand and then get right back into competition mode. We see just a little fading turn for Defay. That thing shouldered off quickly, and she'll see a solid one heading right her way. As I talked to a local legend, Chuck Andrus, a shaper, the other day, and he said, yeah, when we were using no leashes back in the day, no one sat underneath because you'd get smoked. As we look at live action here, wrapping cutback. Keeping that higher line on the first turn. I love how she changed positions, drops that back shoulder, and commits to the lip line. Nice controlled combination once again. Her wave previous of 4.17, that's going to be long gone.
Yeah. This wave had a way better face to it too for Molly to work with. Seen her catch a couple waves that were super frothy, didn't give her too much of an opportunity to go the second turn. Waits on the bottom, really unweights on that rail. Beautiful maneuver from Molly. The 6.43 is her high mark. 4.17 is her backup. I think this is going to be better than the 6.43, Joe.
Really committed surfing there for M.Picklum. I agree with you, Rosie, because those two turns had bigger sections. Quit Jack the micro. They're probably laughing a little bit, but he's just making sure that she's focused, and she's going to close this one out.
Her energy is so infectious. Like you said, like playing on the sandbar like a Grom. She's just so into it.
Gabriela Bryan, frontside wrap, looking super smooth. Fading cutback again. This one doesn't have the same kind of size as Molly's wave, but she's surfing it incredibly well, fitting in a third turn. And just S-ing her way towards the channel. She had dropped to third. A 6.6 gets her into the top two.
Yeah, this is such a mean heat. All of these women are so strong on the rail. So kind of that medium-sized wave. I love her read on that opening maneuver. The way that she's coming from behind the section really allows her to stay in the critical part of the wave and unleash some power. Unfortunately, this wave kind of tapers off and shoulders out before she could get more work done. Here she's just going through the motions to get to the shoulder so she can get a clean paddle out. But that right there, the way that she's delaying it, just bottom turning around that whitewater and hooking it in that top third.
That first turn was brilliant, wasn't it? Just the way she positioned it, she hit it with authority, and maybe just the wave let her down towards the end, but that first turn was committed and shows the power that she has.
Yeah, I'd love to see her be able to combo up these kinds of maneuvers, and even thinking back to her previous wave where she didn't complete that kind of lip line aggressive attack. To me, my favorite performance
in that first season, he just didn't want her to worry about finances, and he helped her just travel on the road and make sure she qualified, since she's also from Reunion Island. Fading cut back to start for M.Picklum.
This was an interesting wave, and just the way that Molly chose to control these last few minutes of that opportunity. You see all three of these surfers having a go at this wave. Everyone has to give way to Molly as she uses her priority here and essentially keeps those surfers off the wave.
Great read, Rosie. Yeah, interesting situation there. Just moved her position just under, control her lead, and control the good waves that were coming through. That's going to be a throw. So Gabriela Bryan looks like she will have a very busy day today, as she will be dealing with the elimination round to try to make more heats throughout the day at the Hurley Pro Sunset Beach, presented by Shiseido. The rookie kicked things off with a big win. M.Picklum moves on with Johanne Defay to the round of 16.